There's news, there's sense and there's nuisance. This show is all about that last bit. 3 हफ्ते के ब्रेक के बाद टीवी न्यूसेंस वापस आ गया है दर्शकों के बीच एक बुरी खबर देने। सिस्टम फेल हो गया है।
कैसे सिस्टम छीन रहा है लोगों की सांसें।
हो चुका है हत्यारा हमारा सिस्टम।
वाकई आज कह सकते हैं कि सिस्टम की सांसें उखड़ गई हैं।
मजे की बात यह है कि कुछ महीने पहले इस ही सिस्टम का हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू मनाया जा रहा था।
अब तक आप भारत का डंका बजने की बात सुनते आए हैं, लेकिन आज हम आपको भारत के बजते डंके का सजीव चित्रण दिखाएंगे।
That was 4 months ago in December, when, according to Sumit Awasthi, India was going to lead the world out of the coronavirus pandemic.
कोरोना के इस महामारी के समंदर से जिंदगी के साहिल तक पहुंचाने का काम सिर्फ और सिर्फ हिंदुस्तान ही कर सकता है।
बात करते हैं सिस्टम के असली फेलियर की। इस सिस्टम की बात बाद में करेंगे, पहले इस सिस्टम की बात करते हैं। The reason why the system has failed today is because those in charge of holding the system to account failed us. And how? Over the past 1 year, everyone from the Prime Minister to the primetime spokies were allowed to boast about anything and everything, about how great they are and how effectively they're countering the coronavirus, how India has won the battle, with news anchors clapping and applauding on the sidelines. No questions asked.
हमने कोविड स्पेसिफिक हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करने पर जोर लगाया। आज भारत दुनिया के उन देशों में से है जो अपने ज्यादा से ज्यादा नागरिकों का जीवन बचाने में सफल रहा है।
उधर कोरोना वायरस से जंग में पीएम मोदी का सफल ग्लोबल अवतार देखने को मिला है। पीएम मोदी की सफल रणनीति और समय रहते उनके हरकत में आने से भारत में अब तक कोरोना वायरस पूरी तरह पैर पसारने में नाकाम रहा है।
कोरोना से पीड़ित साथियों को बचाने का भारत का रिकॉर्ड दुनिया से बहुत बेहतर रहा है।
ये शायद इसको मैं अगर कहूं कि दिस इज द बिगनिंग ऑफ द एंड ऑफ कोविड।
कोरोना प्रभावित मुल्कों से अपने देश के लोगों को निकालने में अव्वल रह चुका हिंदुस्तान इस बीमारी को अपनी तैयारियों से करारी शिकस्त दे रहा है।
ये भगवान की ही कृपा है जिसके कारण दुनिया इतनी बड़ी हिल गई, हम बच गए।
As far as our fight against COVID-19 is concerned, that India is going to stand apart from rest of the world.
We are really standing apart, not in a good way.
एक वायरस ने पूरी दुनिया में कोहराम मचा रखा है। उस कोरोना से लड़ने में बड़े बड़े देश हाफने लगे, लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की सूझबूझ और सही समय पर सही फैसला लेने से भारत में इस महामारी पर बहुत हद तक नियंत्रण है।
Too much नियंत्रण। As we record this show, India has 3.79 lakh cases of coronavirus. We have the second highest active cases in the world. COVID has killed more than 2 lakh Indians. 3,286 people have died in the last 24 hours itself. And this is only the official number. Across India, in crematoria and graveyards, there's a waiting line. In Delhi, there's no wood left to burn the dead. Newspapers in Gujarat are full of obituaries. There are no ambulances to carry the dead to the funeral grounds. People have to carry COVID-19 victims in auto rickshaws. Private vehicles are doubling up as ICUs. People are scrambling for oxygen, medicines, and beds in hospitals. India's vaccine program is going to be an uphill task with severe shortage as the inoculation drive expands in May. So yes, the system has failed us. The central government, under the able leadership of Modi ji, is in charge. And prematurely, they claimed that they have won the war on coronavirus. So now, questions have to be asked from him and him. लेकिन ये questions पूछने का काम करेगा कौन?
दुनिया की नींद भले ही देर से टूटी हो, मगर मोदी मिशन मोड में लगे हुए हैं। देश के हालात खराब जरूर हैं, मगर देश का प्रधानमंत्री होने के नाते इस सिचुएशन को अंडर कंट्रोल भी मोदी को ही करना है। मोदी को यह बात अच्छी तरह से पता है, इसलिए वो ना तो ढिलाई बरत रहे हैं और ना ही कोई कोर कसर छोड़ रहे हैं।
दुनिया की नींद देर से टूटी हो? हाँ, मोदी जी तो जरूर चौकन्ने बैठे हुए थे, आंख खुली हुई थी उनकी।
मोदी सरकार युद्ध स्तर पर काम कर रही है। लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन से भरा पहला, दूसरा, तीसरा चौथा, पांचवा, छठा, सातवां टैंकर विशाखापट्टनम से निकल चुका है।
सात टैंकर? Wow, 7 tankers? The demand for liquid medical oxygen between 12th April to 22nd April, just between 10 days, shot up by 76%. National Clinical COVID-19 Registry tells us that 54.5% or more than 1 out of 2 people admitted in hospitals need oxygen support treatment in the second wave. This is more than the demand for oxygen that India faced in its first peak of the pandemic in September last year.
मोदी का पूरा फोकस तेजी से ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई पर है।
थोड़ा विजुअल्स एडजस्ट करके देखते हैं।
पूरी सरकार मिशन मोड में काम कर रही है। दिन के उजाले में और रात के अंधेरे में सड़क पर डीसीपी से लेकर इंस्पेक्टर तक सब लग गए हैं। ग्रीन कॉरिडोर बनाया जा रहा है। पुलिस सिलेंडर भर भर कर हॉस्पिटल्स में पहुंचा रही है।
That is ordinary Indians moving heaven and earth for oxygen. India's total oxygen production is 7,127 metric tons. Majority of this is put to use in the industrial sector. To meet with the increased demand for medical oxygen, the government from April 22nd onwards prohibited the supply of oxygen for industrial purposes. But 9 industries have been exempted from this order. These industries use about 2,500 metric tons. So, about 7,000 metric ton में से 2,500 काट दो तो बचा 4,600 metric ton. This number is 70% less than the total amount of oxygen requirement India was facing on April 21st when India reported 2.95 lakh cases. At the time of writing this show, India's cases were at 3.7 lakh. So you can just imagine how dire the situation is. The worst part is that the Modi government had 1 whole year to prepare. It wasted 8 months before floating the tender to set up oxygen plants. Till now, only 33 plants have been set up when the Modi government should have set up 162 oxygen plants. But किसी से कुछ मत कहना because Modi is working day and night. थोड़ा पहले डे में काम कर लेते तो नाइट की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. इंडिया टीवी के गुणगान के बाद रिपब्लिक भारत was asking some really tough questions.
जी हाँ, पूछता है भारत आज उन राजनेताओं से कि कहाँ है वो?
From the state governments, obviously.
वो सवाल उठा रहे थे जब भारत सरकार ने, भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ने यह निर्णय लिया था कि भारत विश्व भर को वैक्सीन देगा, भारत विश्व भर को दवाइयां देगा। कहाँ हैं वो लोग? क्यों आज चुप्पी लगा के बैठे हैं? क्यों आज उनकी बोलती बंद हो गई है?
इसकी बोलती कब बंद होगी?
वो लोग आज चुप हैं जो सवाल उठा रहे थे, कह रहे थे कि क्यों भारत इंसानियत दिखा रहा है, क्यों भारत मानवता का परिचय दे रहा है, क्यों भारत वैक्सीन दे रहा है। अगर भारत ने तब वैक्सीन नहीं दी होती तो आज ये लोग वैक्सीन बनाने का सामान बंद कर चुके होते। दूरंदेशी इसे कहते हैं।
हमारी vaccines were mostly sent out because Modi ji wanted to play friendship. #vaccine-maitri. Now, don't get me wrong. Countries should help each other in these times, and India should certainly help if it can, especially when it concerns our neighbors, because an outbreak in Pakistan or Bangladesh will impact us. But, and here's a big but, India should help after making sure that it has helped itself. That did not happen. India made no effort to ramp up our own production capacity even as we exported vaccine. We shipped 66 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to 95 countries. Of this, 10 million were grants from the government, 20 million were sent as part of the global COVAX facility, and the rest, 36 million, were commercial exports. This is when we did not estimate our own needs and went around telling the world that we had won the COVID war.
आज भारत दुनिया के उन देशों में से हैं जो अपने ज्यादा से ज्यादा नागरिकों का जीवन बचाने में सफल रहा है.
The only country that has exported as much as us is China, but they did it after they solved their own COVID crisis. Meanwhile, US, which is less populous than us and has the highest caseload, has prioritized its own people getting the jab. India could have actually helped the fight against coronavirus by containing the spread in our own country. Instead, we are now steadily adding to the global numbers. From exporting vaccine, we now need to import vaccine, oxygen, and medical supplies. From trying to be Atmanirbhar, we are now Sabpenirbhar. एक पुराना भजन है, दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद की जय करें. Now that did not happen, news anchors are like, हमको मन की शक्ति देना.
We can win only and only if we truly have patience. There are two ways we can approach this. We can be cynical, we can amplify a sense of helplessness and hopelessness, or we can do our bit. The Prime Minister is asking all of us to do our bit, and we should more than reciprocate. The biggest contagion, viewers, right now is negativity.
अर्नब को देखने के लिए वाकई मन की शक्ति चाहिए. The biggest contagion is negativity according to you? No, Arnab. The biggest contagion is people like you who've done nothing till now but Modi ji ki jai, even as people are dropping dead like flies. Your allegiance to the dear leader is so pathetic, so cowardly, so disgusting that I don't even know why we bother with you and your nightly excuse for news.
And I want to ask you, what are you doing to stop those people who are only peddling paranoia? If you support the efforts of the Modi government, you are a responsible citizen, you are not a bot. There are trolls out there who want you to believe that the road ahead is insurmountable. Tonight, I want to tell each one of you, it is not.
डरने से तो काम नहीं चलेगा.
I think we should support our Prime Minister.
इसलिए आज मैं पहले आपसे उम्मीद की बात करना चाहता हूं, होप की बात करना चाहता हूं. इस काली रात के बाद आने वाली सुबह की जो आशा है, जो किरण है, जो रोशनी है, उसकी बात करना चाहता हूं.
There has to be a Lakshman Rekha to negativity.
There has to be a Lakshman Rekha between propaganda and news. वो तो आप कब का पार कर चुके. Meanwhile, his prodigy in Times Now was asking questions from everyone, literally everyone, even Akhilesh Yadav.
क्योंकि सब हमारी गलती है, इनकी कोई गलती नहीं है. अखिलेश यादव जो इसे बीजेपी का वैक्सीन कहते थे, उनकी तो कोई गलती है ही नहीं. Anybody who's watching this debate will think that मर तो आम आदमी रहा है. मरने दो, क्योंकि between political parties, what has to be settled is गलती किसकी थी. not one head has rolled in any state government. In the center, no Babu, nobody who was responsible for giving these warnings. Nothing has happened.
Notice how she says that when it comes to the center, किसी भी बाबू का head roll नहीं हुआ. Because you can't say Modi, obviously. # sorry Babu.
And those in the states who are saying that it is the center's fault, what action have you taken about the fact that in Maharashtra today, there's an MP who says that the district collector was telling me an oxygen plant has been built, 5 have been built, but today I went and saw वहाँ तो कुछ है ही नहीं. अरे MP साहिबा, आप पहले चली जाती, देख लेती, लोगों की representative हैं. That's the question, boss. The accountability falls between stools.
Navika did get a chance to ask Amit Shah questions. No prizes for guessing what happened when he came on her show and told her that there's no link between election rallies and COVID numbers.
मैं थोड़े आंकड़े आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. महाराष्ट्र में कितना इलेक्शन है या कुंभ है?
हाँ, पर पंढरपुर में उन्होंने भी
एक मिनट, कुंभ है, 60,000 का रोज आंकड़ा आता है. दिल्ली में कुंभ है, इलेक्शन है, 18,000 आता है.
Just notice her smiling unquestioningly.
महाराष्ट्र में कितना इलेक्शन है या कुंभ है?
हाँ, पर पंढरपुर में उन्होंने भी
एक मिनट, कुंभ है, 60,000 का रोज आंकड़ा आता है. दिल्ली में कुंभ है, इलेक्शन है, 18,000 आता है.
Of course, election rallies in West Bengal will obviously have an impact on West Bengal, not Delhi and Maharashtra. Delhi and Maharashtra are notorious hotspots, but they showed a much slower pace of increase, 209% and 118% respectively. Meanwhile, the number of people in West Bengal who are COVID positive on a daily basis is rising nearly 5 times faster. Wonder why? Wonder what happened there?
उसी सीट पर ये टीवी वाले भाई, ये सफेद कपड़ा, ओ ए ईश्वर कर दो कैमरा ईश्वर कर दो, तुम कैमरा तुम ईश्वर कर दो.
It was wonderful to note this week that India Today finally woke up to the irresponsible netas and called out these potentially super spreader election rallies.
And now I want to tell you about some of the people responsible for this mess we are in currently. These are images of campaign political rallies that were held yesterday and in the days gone by, the last few days, by the TRS, by the BJP, by the Congress, as well as by the left parties.
The ticker read COVIDiot netas. Not the most mature way to present news, but at least they called out the obvious callousness of this rally. However, just a few weeks ago, there were much bigger rallies being held in West Bengal.
मैं जहां देख सकता हूं, मुझे लोग ही लोग दिखते हैं, बाकी कुछ दिखता ही नहीं है.
Do you think India Today would ever have the guts to call this guy a COVIDiot neta? The legacy media is a bigger joke than we guys can ever crack on TV Newsance. Now, it's not just the BJP that was continuing with business as usual. TMC and left in West Bengal, political parties in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, everyone was going about its rallies between end March and beginning April. Not just West Bengal. All of us in India were going back to our lives. We were attending holy parties, going to pubs, restaurants, cinemas, protest sites without any precautions. We all let our guard down because the leaders of India let their guard down. And the media allowed them to let their guard down. So when they say the system failed, the biggest reason is that they failed. They were supposed to question leaders on our preparedness, on our plans for the second wave, on how we will tackle vaccine shortage and oxygen shortage. All they did was clap and applaud and put up a nightly reality show, which is also contagion as dangerous as the disease. This is because their ad-funded model depends on hooking you on their toxic oxygen of hate and reality primetime TV. You can snap out of this and build a new accountable news ecosystem only if you pay to keep news free. Because if you leave it to them and their advertisers, who are most often governments, then they will never serve you or your interests, but only the advertiser and the advertiser's interests. Go to newslaundry.com, click on the subscribe button and pay to keep news free. And if you're already a paying subscriber, tell your friends and family, or better still, give them a subscription, because a media that doesn't hold its government accountable is dangerous to the nation's health and to your health. Quite literally.
प्रशासन आवे उसको हम खोल, हम इसको पहन के ऐसे खड़े हो जाएंगे, लगे कोरोना कितना लगता है, मगर उस अरे यार बेटा फिर भाई साहब आप फालतू बात बोल रहे हो, उनके सामने ना बोलो. अरे ये पेपर में छापे, वो छपेगा, न्यूज में कुछ नहीं होगा, आप लोग करेंगे ही नहीं. आप मेरी इतनी गालियां जितनी मैं बोल रहा हूँ छाप दीजिए, भगवान जानता है मैं इतनी दुआ दूंगा, मगर आप लोग सिर्फ मोदी और योगी के अलावा कुछ नहीं छापेंगे, सिर्फ खाम का लिए ड्रामा.
मातम मसला है, मातम.
खुल के बोल रहे हैं, सिर्फ ड्रामा करते हैं आप लोग. पत्रकार भी बिका हुआ है, चाहे अमर उजाला चाहे कोई भी ले लो, सिर्फ योगी और मोदी और कोरोना में इतने आंकड़े, और किसी का आप दिखाइए. हम कहते हैं मेरी आज कल मैं पेपर पढ़ूंगा, आ जाए, अपना एड्रेस दे दो,
आप अपना मुझे नंबर दीजिए.
हाँ बिल्कुल लीजिए,
आपको जरूर भेज दो. अभी मत दीजिए कैमरे पे, और ऑफ हो जाएगा तब दीजिएगा.
भैया जवान लड़का मेरा गया है, हम भी मर जाए, हमको तो चाह रहे हैं.
मीडिया वाले सब देखे हुए,
सब बिके हैं टाइम से. आप
That's all the nuisance we have for you this week. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay mad. That's the only way. Thank you so much guys for watching this episode. If you liked it, please don't forget to like our video on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please subscribe to newslaundry.com. It's just 300 rupees a month. Please check out our ground reports on the current pandemic. You can see some of the video reports that our reporter Akanksha has done from Delhi. We'll also be sending our reporters next week to Uttar Pradesh to get us the ground reality from there. So please support our work. If you like what we're doing, please don't forget to subscribe to News Laundry, because it's literally what keeps us going. Stay safe, stay indoors, and mask up wherever you go out, or even if you're sitting at home with a few people. Please, our health workers and our doctors and our nurses, we cannot afford to overburden them. They're already burdened. So do your bit, stay safe and stay inside.